All right. All right. So this is our kind of our welcome to kindergarten. If you are a first year kindergarten parent, this is going to blow your socks off. You've been doing everything for your children for many years. Now you're going to see them blossom into independent little human beings, doing things you have been doing for so long, you're going to be shocked. The other thing that's amazing to me, many of the students start the school year not knowing their alphabet or their name. By Christmas, many of them are going to be reading bedtime stories to you. And you're going to say, finally, hallelujah. So it's a really great, fun year. I enjoy it more than I can express. I hate to say this because my principal's sitting here, but they really pay me to have fun with your kids while I'm teaching them, and I love it. So just in case you need information, my email address is on this first slide. Most of you have already connected with me through ClassTag. It's just as easy to respond to a ClassTag message or email me directly through ClassTag, but you can always get a hold of me through the school email. I'm out in the morning and in the afternoons. I'm always available to talk at those times. So please feel free. All right. So that kind of takes me to, I had sent an email out, and I also sent through ClassTag a Google form with a link to a Google form that will give me who's allowed to pick your child up at the end of the day. Right now it's kind of crazy because I'm still getting to know faces and connect them to kids. But as we go on, I watch your child. If your child has a smile and they're happy because they see mom in a distance, I make sure out of my eye that they are connecting with you. If I see any kind of hesitation, I'm going to pull the paperwork that you've sent me to confirm that person can pick up your child. So that's kind of an important document. And obviously the other thing that's very critical is if there's any allergies I need to be aware of. Obviously any food allergies, anything like that. I know you filled out some of this information for the office, but quite honestly, the office computer information and my computer information don't mesh really well. So to complain a little bit, I would have to hand enter 26 pieces of information times the 3 pickup people. If you do it, you enter it once for me and I can get it all at once. So I appreciate those of you that have filled out the Google form. And if you haven't, please do that. You know this already, but school starts at 8. Do your best to have your child there before 8. We open the gate at 7:50. Give them a few minutes to play, and then we take them in the classroom at 8. The school day ends at 11:20. Again, be patient with me. We're still trying to learn the routine, so it might be 11:25 before I actually get everybody out to the front, but I'm working on getting them out there at 11:20. There is breakfast served on campus, and if you want your child to have breakfast, you need to have them in the cafeteria at 7:45. Is that correct, Mr. Reinhardt?
We've been opening the gate at 7:45, so morning walk and breakfast starting at 7:45 so far. So if you can come, if you get there at 7:45, it's better just because they have more time to eat, because it's about a 15-minute window, obviously. So the line's real short, but you obviously want them to have a chance to eat the food. So
yeah. So and I've already experienced this year. If your child tells you that they don't want breakfast at home, and so you don't get them to school at 7:45, at 8:05, when our day is starting and they tell me they're hungry, I'm kind of stuck. I can't stop what I'm doing to get them fed. It's disruptive to the classroom. So I had a little girl the other day do this to me, and I said, okay, you can have a little quick snack right now, but in the future, you have to eat before you come to school or eat at school. But once they get into the classroom, we start our day learning, and it's very disruptive otherwise. Oh, I just see I made a mistake here. That should be 11:20 a.m. Nobody wants to pick up their kid at 11:20 at night. Sorry. Oh, and now it won't work. Anyways, so the story, some of you have been asking about lunches. Right now, the district is providing a bagged lunch to every student. For my ease, I have given every student a lunch every day. If you do not want your child to have lunch, you need to email me or message me through ClassTag directly. The kids aren't ready to tell me yes, they want lunch or no, they don't. I tried that during summer school, and they'd say, oh no, I don't want lunch. And then lunch would be handed out, and they're like, well, I want something to eat. So if you don't want your child to bring home a lunch every day, please email me. As the school year goes on, I hope to help them learn how to communicate that with me. But right now, I'm going to trust, if I don't hear from you, your child will take home a lunch every day. All right. And then, oops, I will meet you at the front of the school. You don't need to get out of your car. You can just drive in, which takes me to this side. This is the front of our school. This is that front parking area. This red zone is really supposed to be for emergency vehicles. So if you're picking up your child, you want to drive in this area, stay in your car, we'll connect with you. I'll get your child to your car, and then you can just keep right on going. This next lane is for through traffic. So if your child happens to get in back of the line and the car in front of you is not, please get into this next lane and exit the parking lot. But this lane is for loading and unloading, basically. Learning begins right away. I mean, we start within minutes of them walking in the door. And quite frankly, with kindergarten, it starts when they walk in the door, because I have their name tags out and everybody's still trying to learn what their name looks like, what the letters are in their name. If they miss that, they're missing critical learning, and that's really important right now. It's also really important that they learn the routines of school, and they learn the routines at home of, getting up, getting dressed, brushing their teeth, and coming to school. So it's really important that we work towards getting our kids to school on time. Please make sure you call this attendance line if your child is not going to be at school. You may also email me. If you email me, I will forward that to our attendance clerk. If you call the attendance line, she'll get me that information. So you don't need to do both, but you need to do something, one or the other. The law does require a call or some kind of note if your child is not going to be at school, and all absences need to be cleared within 5 days. So if you forget to call because you've got a kid at home sick, know that we're going to be connecting with you to find out what's going on. Coyle Avenue has school rules. Our expectations are safe, be responsible, and be respectful. That kind of covers it all if you think about it. Sitting on top of a desk instead of sitting in the chair is not safe. So it's not allowed. Being responsible, that means, you're picking up after yourself, you're taking care of your things. It's also a way to keep kids safe. And of course, we always want to be respectful to our friends. So, and that's a real big part of kindergarten, is learning how to be in community. In my class, I try to use whole group positive encouragement, and I will start this next week. I found out today that everybody likes cookies. So, what I will do is I have a cookie sheet that's up in front of the class. And if the whole class is responding like they should, quietly working, following those rules, being safe, they'll get a cookie on the cookie sheet. In the beginning of the year, if they get 6 cookies in a row, we have a cookie party. As the year goes on, they have to get 12 cookies in a row before we have a cookie party. It might be a cookie party, it might be a popcorn party, it might be a popsicle party, but that's how I encourage them to work as a community, to be kind to and safe to each other. I'm really big on natural consequences. So if your child chooses not to do their schoolwork when everybody else is doing their schoolwork, they're going to have to do that schoolwork when everybody else is having playtime or a fun activity. So if you have any questions about this, when I'm done, we can go over it. We will send home a math home connection letter where every time we start a new math unit. You will be getting one tomorrow because we will start our first unit. Usually that connection letter includes some kind of game connected to the topic that we will be learning in that unit. Periodically, we do have family projects, fun family projects. In a few weeks, I'll be sending home the first letter to their name, and you decorate that letter with things that start with that name. So if your child's name is Sam, then you're going to put a sun and sand and silly putty and whatever, else is going to be, words that start with C. I have somebody coming in. There we go. Okay. Go away. Sorry. Okay. In a couple of weeks, I will start teaching sight words. These are words we want kids to know as quick as they know their name. That's why we call them sight words. Some of them are words that they can sound out. Some of them are words that they're not ready to sound out. We want them to be able to see that word and know it. So I will be sending home little cards with those words on it. And I want you to practice those cards at home. Whether you tape them up on the walls around the house and every time they walk by them, they slap the word and say it. Whether you sit with them at night and play games with those cards, I'll send home different ways that you can help your child learn those words so that they're automatic. And we are going to start working on a calendar where students will be assigned a day to bring something in to share. We're working on oral language, getting students to be able to speak in front of a crowd, being able to talk in complete sentences, and everything we do will be connected to the things that we're learning. So we're still working on that calendar, but basically that's the homework you're going to see. Every Friday, I will send home a packet of the work they did that week. If they didn't complete that work, it would be great if you could sit down with them and help them get it done, because they need that practice to learn that concept. I'm not necessarily grading everything they do. I am watching what they're doing in class and I can see who's struggling with what. So it's just a good thing to do. And what I don't have on here is really what's important is reading at least 20 minutes with your child every single day. And I know this is kind of small, I kind of made it bigger, but the child that reads 20 minutes a day, by the end of a school year has 3,600 minutes of that reading and oral language. That will help your child be part of the 90th percentile of learners. So it's really important, and it's just as simple as sitting down with a book, and you may read it every day for 2 or 3 weeks. That's okay. That repetition is very important for their learning. So those are kind of what I expect as far as homework. Scholastic book orders, you will be receiving, probably not tomorrow, but maybe the following Friday, in that Friday packet, you will be receiving information about ordering Scholastic books. Again, these are great books that are high interest for children, and we can also coordinate it so that they're getting books that they will eventually be reading. The more books you can have around your house, the more you encourage that love of reading. And as you all know, we are reading all the time. It's so commonplace for us adults that we don't realize how valuable it is. And now Scholastic has made it so easy for families to order right online. You will order the books, you can have them delivered to the school and not pay shipping, or you can pay shipping and have them delivered to your home. It's your choice. If you choose to order some books for a special occasion for your own children or for nieces and nephews, just let me know. And if they come to the school, let me know, and I'll bag them up so that little eyes don't see them. In full disclosure, I do get class points when parents order, and that allows me to increase the books in my classroom library. Snacks and lunch, please do your best to send a snack with your child. They're hungry by the time 10 o'clock comes around. It doesn't have to be a huge snack, but really just something to put something in their stomach so they can continue to learn. But not so much that they spend the whole 20 minutes of our snack recess time eating, so that something they can eat quickly and then run off and play. If you send a lunchbox, please make sure your child's name is in the box somewhere. You'd be surprised at how many lunchboxes nobody claims. And then same thing with water bottles. If you send a water bottle with your child, make sure the name is on it somewhere. I explained the whole lunch thing already, so I'm going to keep going. Labels, put labels on everything. Every year I have nice jackets, nice sweaters, nice water bottles that end up in lost and found and never make it home. And I will ask many, many times, is this your jacket? And they'll all look at it and say, no, not mine. And a parent then will identify it. So it helps me if your names are in them. Birthday celebrations and cultural observations. If your child has a birthday and you want us to celebrate it, you don't have to send food or anything to the classroom. We will always sing and have some celebration within the classroom. If you do send food, it has to be store-bought. It cannot be a homemade food item, but you can get little packages of apples or carrots. It doesn't always have to be a sweet. It's up to you. It just cannot be homemade. If you, for some reason, do not want your child participating in that type of thing or other holiday activities, please let me know. You can just send me an email. Items from home and sharing time. Items from home are best left at home. I can't tell you how often a child brings something to school and it gets broken and hearts are broken. Or it gets lost. So if they bring it to school, it's going to stay in their backpack. It's not going to come in the classroom. So it's really, if you can just leave it at home. We are going to, like I said, talk about that calendar where we are going to be working on that oral language piece. So getting children to talk about it, but that's learning, helping them learn how to talk about something with a focus. So there'll be a calendar for that. And we'll follow it. You'll know more about that as we go. Even though parents can't be in the classroom this year, I am always looking for volunteers, and volunteers would be, can I send something home for you to cut or glue or put together for me? There's always projects like that. So if anybody has some extra time and is willing to volunteer, just send me an email and I'll get you something to do. Like I said, I'm so sorry we don't have parents in the classroom, but right now that's the safest way to do things. I think by now everybody has connected with me through ClassTag. If you have any questions or any problems, please let me know. I think the last person that was having trouble has connected already. So that is my way of communicating. I will try to send a couple of messages a month to just give you an update on important things coming up, how things are going. It's just my way to communicate with everybody at once, but you can communicate directly with me and I can communicate directly with each of you also. It's it just really helps me. The Friday packet, tomorrow will be a group of papers that'll be paper clipped together, but in the future it'll be in an envelope with your child's name on it. Please return that envelope. So Friday your kid comes home, look in their backpack, take out the papers, put the envelope back in their backpack, and then the next week I can refill that envelope. It will be notes from the district, notes from school, things that are happening, things that are coming up. It'll be their work from the week, and any important information. So if you can get in the habit of every Friday pulling that out, putting the envelope back in their backpack, and then you have the weekend to go through their stuff. I have found that it's easier to do it once a week instead of every day. And we've got ClassTag. I said earlier, you'll be amazed at how much your child will learn. This year, by the end of the school year, by next June, they will know their letters and sounds. They will know all 52, but really they'll know 54 because they'll know the fancy A and the fancy G, and that's what those two letters are right there. It's what is seen most often in type. They will know vowel sounds and consonant sounds of all their letters, and we teach both short and long vowels. So A is for apple, A, but A also says A, the long sound. Your child will learn how to decode words. They will be able to look at 2- and 3-letter words, knowing the letter sounds, they will be able to read those words. If you put the word cat in front of your child today, chances are they aren't going to know what that word is. And I promise you, in a couple of months, if you put that word cat in front of them, they'll be able to say cat. That's how much children learn in kindergarten. We will send home not quite all 75 words, but we will expose children to more than 75 words. Sometimes we'll call them high frequency words, the words most common in print. Some of them will just be words that we're talking about in our lessons. We want children to recognize and produce rhyming words. That's a fun thing you can do at home. You're making spaghetti for dinner or tacos for dinner, and then you want to find words that rhyme with that. They can be made up words. They don't have to be real things. So taco, baco, saco, whatever, you can just make those words rhyme for the kids. And then concepts of print is, well, what is a book? You know, where's the title on the book? What about punctuation? Who's the author? We're going to teach all of that this year. By Christmas, again, most of your kids will be able to write words, some of those words that they can sound out. Let me show you this. Oh, hopefully this works. It works for me at home. I mean, at school. Oh. Open hyperlink. Okay, here it goes.
Writing's not that easy, but Grammarly can help. This sentence is grammatically correct.
Hi guys, I'm the Kids Planner, and in this video, I'm going to show you the easiest way to learn how to hold your pencil. Some kids hold it like this, or even like this.
Mrs. Banahan,
Because when
Yes.
they
are
grow
we
up,
supposed to see a video?
Oh, you can't see that?
No, it's not working.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but
No, thank you. Thank you very much. I will send this link to your homes through ClassTag. I'll send you the link. It shows how we teach children to hold their pencils at school for writing, and it teaches that fine motor skill so that they will grow with it and be able to write sentences and paragraphs as they go through school. So I'll send that link to you. Sorry, I thought it would open up for us. By the end of kindergarten, or hopefully by Christmas, they'll be able to write their names using upper and lowercase letters. They will be learning how to write their letters and their numbers in the correct way, starting at the top. Please, please do not spell words for your child. If you spell a word for your child, they're not connecting letters and sounds, and that's how they're going to learn to write. So if a child says, Mom, spell love, sound it out for them. Have them sound it out. Well, what's the first sound? Work with them. It's okay if they don't spell it perfectly. Eventually, they'll learn enough about the English language that it'll all come to them. One way to help practice writing and encouraging writing, and you got to be patient, I get it. You're going to the grocery store, give them paper and pencil and say, okay, we're going to go to the grocery store. Please help me write a list. You're going to have your own list on your phone or hidden someplace, but you're going to ask them. We need cereal. What's the first letter in cereal? We need meat. We need chicken, and have them just get them ready or listening to those first letter sounds. They'll start building those words. Doesn't have to be perfect, but I can guarantee you grandmas and grandpas love to get letters from their grandchildren with all sorts of letters on there, and they'll tell their grandparents what that note says. The grandparents don't need to read it, but it's great experience for the kids. Even starting them with a daily writing of what they did, getting them just in the habit and practicing those writing skills. Okay, math. By the end of kindergarten, they will count orally to 100. They will count out loud to 100 without mistakes. It's a long process. Some kids get stuck at 29 for months, and then one day they hit 30 and then they take off, and then they get stuck at another number. Just keep practicing. The best way for them is that repetition. We will also be counting objects. The goal is to be able to count and write their numbers to 30. So if I give them a big handful of plastic bears, they're going to be able to count up to 30 bears for me, and they're going to recognize and write those numbers. We call it skip counting. 5, 10, 15, 20. We're going to be able to just skip count using 5s and 10s up to 100. We're going to be adding them, subtracting by about February or March to 10. We're going to start talking now about positional words and more and less. So you can do things like, you can give the kindergartners some crackers, and you can give their siblings some crackers, and you can say, oh, I wonder who got more. I wonder who got less, and start getting them comfortable with those words. Comparing things at home is something you can do pretty easily. And then recognizing plain and solid shapes. So a flat circle versus a ball or a sphere, a triangle versus a pyramid. So those are the kinds of things that we'll be learning. We have a new science program this year, so I'm going to be learning as we go. But our main topics will be big nature adventures, so plant and animal needs, marble run engineer, so the push and pull motions, being prepared, learning about weather patterns, and I Can, which is about plant and animals changing their environment and our impact on our environment, both positive and negative. You may have already received, I tried to have it come out after this meeting, but another class tag sign up from me. I need to figure out where kids are at, so I know how to start planning my lessons or adapting my lessons to a child's needs. So you're going to get a sign up form through class tag. I'm going to ask you to bring your child to school in the afternoons one day next week and the week after, or the week after. It'll take about 20 to 30 minutes for me to get all the testing done. Again, parents can't be in the classroom, but you can sit on the benches outside my room or sit in your car, bring a book or quiet music and just enjoy the peace. But I want to be able to figure out where everybody is. And the times will start at 12 o'clock every day and go to, depending on the day and what other meetings I have, go till 2:30 or 3. So if you're picking up older siblings, you can time it around that, or you can time it when you pick them up. So if you haven't already gotten that, you'll get it tonight and you can start signing those up. That would be great. We want everybody to join the PTA. The PTA does amazing things for your kids. They help pay for a lot of extracurricular activities that we have planned for the year. So, and it's a donation of just $7. If you can take a picture of that QR code, it will take you right to the link for signing up, and you can do it all right there on your phone. So I'm going to leave that QR code up there while I see my next slide is just questions or comments. Does anybody have any questions about what I've gone over today, or what's happening in the classroom? This is a good time to ask. And you're gonna have to just unmute yourself and speak up because I can't see everybody at once. Any questions?
I have a question.
Yes.
Oops, so sorry. I actually clicked on something. Okay. You may or may not know the answer to this, but do we have any upcoming information about the muzzles that our children, sorry, the masks that our children have to wear.
Like, what kind of information are you asking? Because I mean, right now they're required inside. They're recommended outside, but not required outside. So a lot of the kids take them off outside at times. But
And if
I guess if there's any chances of us being able to take them off at all, I feel very uncomfortable with my kids having to wear them at all. I'm not going to go into how I feel that, you know, the unnecessary of it. But just because that I can go on all night.
Sure. I mean, as of right now, I mean, they're required inside, and that's kind of where it's going to sit for now, with numbers being where they're at. We are trying to keep classrooms open, so kind of they do help in that process for us, and especially if we do have cases in rooms, it does matter who has them on and where they are sitting and stuff like that. So that for as of right now, we're following that guidance that we have. But if things change, absolutely, you'll get messaging for sure, 100%. You know, if it does change at some point, yeah, definitely.
Okay, and I know that, you know, it all has to do with, you know, the numbers and the voting and, you know, the school board, and I get that. I just
Yeah,
being
it's county
two
guidance.
girls that are in
Yeah.
school, I'm just not, I'm very uncomfortable with it in general. So then another question, what goes right along with that is a mask exemption.
They would need a medical
What's the
reason for it.
process of that? From the doctor, I would get just like a vaccination exemption, same type process, right?
Yeah, it would be, they'd have to have a medical reason. So they'd have to have an actual, like the doctor would have to list what the medical reason is, kind of thing. But if
Right.
you want to connect with me tomorrow morning or something to talk more, or a different day, I would love to, I can talk about any of this with you too as well.
Okay, yeah, and like I said, you know, for right now, my girls want to be in school, and
Right,
that's
no,
what's
yeah.
important, that they're in the classroom. So,
Yeah,
so
no,
for
I
right
get it.
now,
And
I'm
everyone's
gonna,
at a different
you know,
place, but if you ever have questions I'm up front every morning, please come by. I'm more than happy to talk to you about it.
and like,
and I only have like 1 or 2 days a week that I'm able to take the girls. Normally, it's dad who brings them.
Okay.
But you know, like I said, for right now, I'm gonna stay calm. I'm gonna go with it. You know, like I said, the girls need to be in the classroom. That's
Right.
the most important thing.
And that's, I mean, and
that
that's
they're
the
in the
goal behind our
classroom.
guidance right now, is to keep classrooms open. And that's kind of where we're at. So, I mean, I get it. They're not my favorite either, but we do it because at this point, that's the goal, is to keep classrooms open.
Right, exactly. And I know that. That's why for now, I'm just gonna go with it, see how things progress, because I know we're all feeling it out right now. You know, we're just now back to full time.
Right.
Well, obviously kindergartners are not, but you know, just in general, it's all new right now. So I get it. So I guess I'm just saying, I'm hopeful that it will soon not be a thing. Not holding my breath. But yeah, that was just my question. That's all.
No problem. And like I said, if you ever have other questions about that kind of stuff, feel free. You can call too. I'm more than happy to talk through anything with you. I don't know that one.
Okay. All right.
I know it's
Thank
kind of
you.
different than in the past, so I get it. So
I know.
anybody else have any questions? Anything I've gone over? I know I've gone over a lot of information. As far as I know, this is still recording, so
I have a question.
yes.
So the school supplies that we were supposed to get for the kids,
Right.
like the glue sticks and stuff like that, does that all need to be in her backpack? Or do you need that for the classroom?
So if I know that it's in the backpacks, I can pull it out of the classroom. I mean, out of the backpacks and bring it into the classroom, because that's kind of my stash for the rest of the year. Everybody
Okay.
started with stuff so that nobody, you know, couldn't start the year off right. But now as we use the glue sticks and they dry up or run out, I can throw those away. And the ones that parents have brought, I can then give out. So that's kind of my back supply. So if there's things in child's backpacks, and I know, I can pull it out and bring it in the classroom.
Okay, yes, there's stuff in Lily's backpack that you can take out and take into the classroom.
Okay, I will mark that now, and tomorrow we'll pull it out.
Okay.
Okay.
And also, are we done on my end? Because I
Yep.
kind of need to get back
Yep.
to work.
Yep. Unless, yep, we're done.
Okay, thank you. And you guys have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
All right.
Before you log off, Mary, I just want to say, well, thank you everyone for coming. There's a lot of faces in here, and it's really nice to see you all. You're going to have an amazing year. Mrs. Banahan's an amazing teacher, and you're on an amazing kinder team as well, one other adult as well. And they work really closely together to make sure kids are getting the best possible experience. And they really do push the academics, and they really do push the social emotional learning. I've seen it last year. If you do have questions, I'm James Reinhardt. If you don't know me, I'm the principal. I'm more than happy to talk anytime. You can always give the office a call or email, or if you see me out front, I'm mostly out there in the mornings and after school. Just come on up and say hi. And if you have questions, I'm more than happy to work with you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
If there's nothing
And
else,
I'm gonna
thanks.
second that.
Yep.
Sorry, I'm gonna second that one because I've already had one in Miss Banahan's class, and I absolutely love the way she runs her class and her structure that she has, and the she's a little bit more disciplined with the kids, which is what they need, because if not, they begin to run over the teachers, and then it just continues to get worse as the years go on. So she teaches them real quick that no means no, quiet time means quiet time, and it's really good for them to learn that this young. And my daughter did very well in her class. Well, she was my chatty one, and now you have my not so chatty one. So we'll see the difference. But yeah, I have to say I really do enjoy the way she runs her classroom. Not saying that Mrs. Wilson is not a great teacher as well, but super happy that both my girls got to have Miss Banahan.
Thank you very much. And I do run a tight ship, as they say.
You have to.
But I also can tell you, and I love it. I love the beginning of the school year because we do a lot of singing and a lot of dance and a lot of play, and we do air guitars most every day. And the first time I do an air guitar, all these little 5-year-olds kind of step back and look like, what's going on? And the next day they're all doing air guitar with me. So we have a good time, but we're always learning. So thank you.
I have a question.
Yes.
I'm not sure if you guys did it last year, but I'm pretty sure you didn't. Will there be field trips at any time this year, or are there not going to be any this year?
So because we're a half day class, typically field trips are very difficult, if not impossible. But what we learned last year is that we could do virtual field trips. We had a really great field trip last year with a cow and the dairy farms. And, in my classroom, I have a 60-inch television screen. So sitting there watching the cows and listening to the information about the dairy cows is a pretty amazing experience. Mr. Reinhardt has some good experience with virtual field trips, and we're going to try to incorporate more. So they're not the traditional field trips that I had when I was in school, but they are virtual field trips that the kids get a lot out of.
And yeah, and there are field trips options sometimes too as well. So if, especially as they keep going through. So I know last year was a hard no for everything, but it's not as a hard no anymore with certain things now.
Yeah. And definitely first, second grade, they do live field trips. Okay, anybody else? Thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate seeing you all. I'm still working on getting parent faces and names connected, but I know all the names of my students. I'm pretty proud of that. It took 3 days and I got it down. I call my aide by the wrong name, but I call the kids by the right name. All right. Thank you, parents. I appreciate you coming.
Have a good night, everybody. Thank you for coming.
Bye-bye.